through 6 different inspection stations, including restrictor plate, heights, and the laser platform. They only had one little issue. They were 2 pounds light on the right side. They easily corrected that. And Chris, at 10 a.m., 3 hours after going in the garage area, Austin Dillon's 3 car was on the line, ready for qualifying.
Larry, a lengthy process, and now the driver's turn to make it work. And there is Austin Dillon. 44 drivers, only 40 spots, but who's going to be on the front row for the Daytona 500? That's coming up right here on Fox. We're glad you're watching Fox NASCAR live from Daytona Beach, Florida. Look at that. Michael pointing to his brother Darrell back in the day. A good-looking look there. Settle in, warm up, and enjoy the afternoon with all of us. Let's head back upstairs to Darrell, Jeff, and Mike.
Thanks, Chris. I liked on that fire suit how your name was bigger than any of the sponsors.
It was important, baby.
Well, we didn't have live TV every week then like we do now. I know, it's 15 below in Massachusetts. It's the same in Connecticut. We've gotten all your tweets. It's 64 degrees here. Sorry about that. The wind is still coming out of the northeast, as yesterday it's now only 8 miles per hour. First car on track in inverse order of practice speed, which means the slowest car in practice was Josh Wise, driving the Curtis Key Plumbing Chevrolet. From Riverside, California, the 33-year-old journeyman ran 24 races last year with 4 different teams. Now, he is one of the 8 open teams. NASCAR has a new charter system. There are 36 chartered teams, more on this later, but there are 8 open teams. There are 2 spots available in the Daytona 500 based on today's qualifying speeds for these 8 teams, and another 2 spots available on Thursday in the Can-Am dual races.
Yeah, one thing that you'll notice, or that we noticed, but I don't know if the fans will, because I don't know if they were watching or not, but you can come out of the pits, right out in the racetrack, right out next to the wall. In practice, you had to stay down on the yellow line to get up to speed. That could help your speed a little bit, that ability to get up in that groove in the first and second turn and get the car really up to speed.
But Jeff, you no longer have a whole lap to ride up around the rim to build speed. The first lap, is the timed lap.
Yeah, I really like this new format. You know, last year we were here, we saw a huge crash because of the group qualifying. Now we've got, you leave pit road, it's crucial to get up through the gears, hit all of your marks as far as your shifting points, get up to speed, and then see how that car can run one lap. And I like it. It compresses everything. It also allows us to have 2 rounds of qualifying. We're going to narrow this down to the top 12 fastest cars, and then they're going to go run a second run out and go for their Daytona 500 pole and front row.
That's just a little quicker than his 6. Today he's at a 48.05, so a little quicker today than he was in practice. I think a lot of that could be attributed to the fact that you can get out on the track and get that high line through 1 and 2, 3 and 4 coming to get the green.
Well, and even yesterday was a bit of a practice session or test session, I should say. These teams have not had any testing or practice on a super speedway all winter long. They come down here, it's all about getting their heights right, getting their temperatures right, doing all the little things. The tape on the grill is so crucial to the temperature of the water temp, the oil temp, as well as the aerodynamics of that car. So they were tweaking all those things. Today, it's about putting all those things together. And you're usually, like you said, DW, that extra bit of length around the track at 1 and 2, but also putting all those components together just gets a little bit more speed out of the car.
So this is Reed Sorensen, 30 years old, from Peachtree City, Georgia, who started and finished 5th in the Daytona 500 in 2008. He ran 9 races in the series last year. He's in the CRC Brake Clean Chevrolet.
And I really think, I mean, the yellow line to me, even the yellow line's your best friend. It's almost like there's a wall there. It's like in a race.
Hitting the ground really hard. Something's real funky in the front end, too.
Didn't exactly hear what he was saying. There's something about the front end.
Something in the front end, but I'm not sure what he was talking about.
Something real funky was what I heard.
Maybe Maybe they don't have power steering on the car and they didn't tell him.
Yeah, that could be. A lot of teams, they do things in qualifying that maybe they didn't do, or maybe they didn't get a chance to test, but they think, hey, we need a little bit more speed. Let's go ahead and put this in. It could be a tweak in the front geometry or maybe the power steering, and it's just driving.
Murray, former Daytona 500 winner, scheduled to go out 19th. We were just talking about the conditions here. The sun playing a little peekaboo. We got a crosswind. How much do the conditions matter in your qualifying room?
Well, I don't think here that the sun makes as big of a difference as the wind. What you hope is that you get the big tailwind down the back stretch, and then it stops blowing when you get to the front stretch, so you don't get the headwind. So I don't think the temperature is a big of a deal. Just the wind's a big factor.
Thanks, Jamie.
And Mike, Jeff, I think the wind direction has changed from practice yesterday. Yesterday, you were getting a tailwind down the front here and a little head down the back. Actually, I think it's almost like you said, a crosswind where it really isn't going to affect the car very much at all with that wind blowing the way it is today.
Now the wind is now out of the east. And coming to the line, Robert Richardson of McKinney, Texas, driving for BK Racing in the Stalkit Toyota.
Familiar with that car?
Yeah, it's a really great logo on the side of that car.
Starts, he finished 31st in 2010.
Well, you talk about the wind, DW, and it does look like it's just shifted a little bit. It looks like it's not as heavy as it was yesterday also. But what everybody wants is just consistent conditions. And one of the things that is going to be interesting about these teams as they go later in this qualifying session is we've seen a lot of times when you're this close to the ocean, that wind will start to pick up in the afternoon and could change direction as well.
Robert Richardson, 47-245. Here is David Gilliland. Gilliland is driving in a Front Row Motorsports Ford. He was the pole winner when driving for Robert Yates here in 2007, and he finished third driving for this team in 2011. Now, if you turn your attention up here to our qualifying pylon, you'll notice drivers' names with an asterisk. Those are the 8 drivers driving for open teams that do not have a charter that lock them into the Daytona 500 and every other Sprint Cup race.
And to be in the Daytona 500. Of course, you want to win it. So there's a lot of emotion that goes into this qualifying session to put yourself into position, whether you're a team, whether you're a driver, you want to be in the Daytona 500, and this is how you do it.
Gilliland second fastest, 47.53. Here is David Reagan in the Dr. Pepper Toyota. Reagan finished 5th in the 500 in 2007, 6th in 2009, driving now for BK Racing.
Pretty good restrictor plate racer David Reagan is. And by the way, that lap that Richardson Jr. put up, that 47.24, that's a pretty nice lap. That's a lot faster than what he practiced.
And as we go through the order, through all 44 cars, they are lined up in the inverse of their practice speed. So the fastest cars in the 4 hours of practice yesterday will be starting at the end of the session.
Yeah, so typically you would think as we go, cars are going to continue to get faster, but there's always some surprises in there. And we saw a big surprise yesterday in practice where the Penske cars went out and worked together to actually draft to get their cars, that sponsor, that team, and what his capabilities are.
Now this is Clint Boyer in the 5-Hour Energy Now Chevrolet. Michael Waltrip Racing, for whom he drove last year, shut down at the end of 2015, so he moves over to Harry Scott's now 2-car team for 1 season, after which he'll replace Tony Stewart in the number 14 at Stewart Haas Racing. So Boyer, the 5-Hour Energy Chevy. Steve Addington is the crew chief.
Saw a little sparking, Jeff, down there in the middle of turns 1 and 2, those bumps we saw yesterday. Just a little spark out of the car. Clinton has not been very happy with his car. Hadn't had any speed in it. Really has struggled to get it up to speed. Maybe a little bit better today, but not sure a whole lot.
Yeah, I think he's going to be disappointed with this, but he's a great race car driver, great restrictor plate driver, and I think he'll have a great opportunity to drive up through the field.
Boyer has 2 fourth-place finishes in the 500. And he is second at a 47.
Getting ready to qualify the 24 car. What is this moment like for you, Chase? Your first time about to qualify for the Daytona 500 in the 24 car.
Yeah, it's very surreal. I think it's, I think a lot of, the talk over the past few months, especially, is a lot of it's kind of setting in, I think, at this point, and I think a lot of it will more come next week and come Thursday, I think, for the duels. But this is a special day. Just a lot of trips down here watching my dad qualify, and it's very cool to be down here and be a part of this Napa 24 team, and we're excited to be a part of it. Hopefully we can have a good qualifying effort. I know Alan and everybody are really happy with this race car and the speed they've got in it, so I have confidence in them, and hopefully I can hit my marks for them.
All right, Mike, a lot of people seem to think this guy has a good shot at pole.
He'll be one of the top rookie contenders this year, along with Ryan Blaney and this driver, Chris Buescher, out of Prosper, Texas, driving for Front Row Motorsports in the Loves Travel Stops Ford. 35th fastest overall in practice. And Buescher is faster
today. The best he ran yesterday was, I don't know, right around 47 flat, I think. So that's a nice pickup.
Now, Michael's team shut down at the end of the season. They sold some cars, made an engine deal with this team in order to compete here at Daytona in the 83 that will run the whole season with Matt DiBenedetto behind the wheel. So for Daytona, DiBenedetto is in an open car and must time or race in. He's in the dustless blasting Toyota.
And you know who Michael's crew chief is? A former championship-winning crew chief from 1980, Doug Richard.
How about that?
That's Michael's crew chief.
What I like about this run, this really is an important run, because if you look at the open cars, he's pretty much up against Michael McDowell, that final speed, because we're pretty sure that Ryan Blaney is going to get his way in by time. So this is very important and a great lap.
Top of the chart for DiBenedetto, 40. And that means with only one other open competitor to go, Ryan Blaney, means that DiBenedetto will be in the Daytona 500.
Exactly.
Let's check with Matt Yoakum.
And Denny Hamlin, a winner last night in the Sprint Unlimited. Always known more for your race package than maybe qualifying here at Daytona. What's going to be even more crucial with this one lap effort we've got today?
Well, it's just, it was a cold night, so all the oils and everything in the car is going to be a little bit thicker than what it was when we were doing our practice run. So it's just a matter of seeing, how much could you gain in your adjustments, and how much really just going out there and doing it one lap cold, how much time loss will be from that alone.
Regan Smith on track, driving for Tommy Baldwin in the Nico RC Golden Corral Chevrolet. A couple of New York Staters, owner and driver. Smith was an 11th hour replacement for Alex Bowman, who drove this car last year, and Bowman learned on Twitter that he had been replaced less than a month ago.